Welcome guys, my name is Lindsay and this is Little Helpful Files. We do cash budgeting and mini savings challenges and just life in general, all through the glory and by the grace of God. If this is something that you are interested in, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and hit the like button below. It'll help to make sure that this gets out to more people so they can enjoy this type of content. All right, today we are talking about mini savings challenges or savings challenges. So why are we talking about this? Well, whether you are brand new to budgeting and doing the cash envelope system, or you've been doing this a while, there might come a point where you kind of ask yourself, does this really work? And I just want to talk through this. This is a part of my Budgeting Little by Little series. I've been wanting to do this video on the mini savings for a while and I just hadn't gotten to it, and I realized that it has been so long. So we're going to go ahead and kind of break down just a few different things, and then we're also going to reference our Bible, and I'm going to just take you to two different verses that I want to read as well. So first off, one of the things is that you might question, is this a waste of time? Okay, if you are trying to get all your budgeting things and you're trying to save money and you're trying to focus on debt and expenses and then sinking funds, how and where and why do savings challenges even matter? Well, it goes into a little bit more of, I would say, the psychology behind it, and also being able to build a sustainable habit or become a little bit more disciplined. So savings challenges are much more manageable. They're easier to save for because they are smaller amounts of money. Sometimes our sinking fund goals are so big or so high that it can be a little bit daunting or challenging, especially if you are just starting out and you don't have a lot of extra money to save. I have found that mini savings challenges do a really great job of boosting our motivation, of encouraging us, and just keeping it fun. I mean, let's be realistic. We have to make sure that this is sustainable long term so that we can continue on our debt-free journey. In order for that to happen, we gotta have a little fun along the way. So mini savings challenges really give you that option. There's so many different kinds. You can find tons of different ones to do. You can find games or things that are themed like what you would want. And it allows you to see that money starting to grow and starting to build, and you start to understand the way that this all works, but you also feel a lot more confident that you can actually save. And these mini savings challenges then can go towards your sinking funds or your debt or a month ahead bills savings category. There's so many different ways you can utilize it then, and it really does start to snowball, right, in a good way. Little by little, that is what we are trying to do, and that is how we are trying to work at this. It's also a little piece of joy, okay? So sometimes this can be a very daunting feat. If you are in a lot of debt and you are really trying to strive to get out of it, it can really feel difficult some days, but the mini savings challenges is just that little piece of, fun and joy that you can take throughout this that, again, is going to help you stick with it. That's really what we want to focus on. How are you going to budget, and how are you going to maintain that and stay on course? When we are budgeting, there are so many things that we oftentimes have to cut out, and it can feel very restrictive. It can feel, boring. We can get kind of focused on the fact that, we don't get to go and get coffee anymore like we wanted, or we can't go do whatever activities, or I can't just go shop whenever I want. And so there are so many free savings challenges out there. I have found that this is kind of the way to still do something that's fun and also be saving at the same time. So instead of putting yourself in more debt or racking up more, credit cards, you are doing something good for yourself. You are putting that money to use and saving it. And I know some will argue, well, having all that cash, it just doesn't make any sense. And it's the principle of being able to learn how to save and manage it in the first place. Once you have it starting to save up, you can surely put that cash into a high yield savings account. The main important goal here is learning how to have the cash to save in the first place. Some of us don't have that. That's how we started. We had a ton of debt. We didn't have any savings. We were literally living paycheck to paycheck. And we needed to understand and learn how to get out of that. So this brings me to one of the Bible verses that I want to talk about. And it's really all about being able to steward your finances and your money well and being able to do that with a little bit so that at some point later on you can do that with more. So we're going to read here in Luke 16, and it's verse 10. One who is faithful in a very little is also faithful in much, and one who is dishonest in very little is also dishonest in much. It also, down in 13, says, no servant can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and money. And so this is actually the parable of the dishonest manager. So, this is really talking about the way that we manage and steward finances and money. And if we can't even steward a little here on earth with money and things that really don't matter for eternity, how can we be entrusted with more? And we also need to be managing these things with an eye towards our eternal life and salvation. And so another verse I'm going to read is Proverbs 13:11. And this reads, wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it. And again, it's just going back to how do we steward, how do we manage? And we have to realize that, we can't just make all these changes overnight. This is going to be a process. It is slow and steady, but things like savings challenges can make the process that much more attainable. And it makes it to where we can actually see this being something that we can stick with and, maintain long term. I was thinking about the fact that a lot of people talk about the 27-40 rule. The 27-40 rule is basically if you would save $27.40 per day for an entire year, you would have $10,000 saved up. Well, what if you just took half of that? So what if you took about, $13 or $14 each day and tried to figure out how to either cut back or make an extra $13 or $14 a day? If you're on a lower income, it seems a little bit more manageable. And again, over a year, you would have $5,000 saved. For somebody that is in a position of paycheck to paycheck living, to save up $5,000, I know it seems crazy. I was there 4 years ago. We had so much debt and we never had extra money each month. And we were making more money than we are now. Right now we are a single income family, and yes, I do make a little bit of money from Little Helpful Files, but honestly, most of it goes back into the business and the ministry, and we really just live off of my husband's income, and we're super grateful for that. But we've made more money in the past, and we definitely did not have extra money left over, and we had a lot of debt. And so it's not about how much you make, okay? We have to realize and remember that. It's about what do you do with the bit that you have, okay? Whether that's a little bit, whether that's a lot of it. Money is a tool at the end of the day. We can either use it and dwindle it away, or we can be good stewards of it and use it for God's kingdom and to give God the glory. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I hope that it helps you if you're in that position of kind of maybe questioning mini savings challenges, either as a beginner or as somebody who's been doing this for years. I hope that this has given you a little bit more encouragement to just continue on, to keep doing it and to have fun with it. We have to make sure that we have these moments of joy and realize that, again, Jesus came into this world to save all of us from our sin. That in and of itself should give us the joy and the freedom each and every day. And let us just give it to him, whatever issue, whatever struggle, whatever financial situation we find ourselves in. Ask the Lord to help. Ask him, invite him into the chaos, invite him into the problems and the issues, and just watch him continue to navigate your life and help you make a better way through it all. And I thank you guys for being here. I pray that the peace of the Lord will continue to be with you, and I'll see you in a video soon. God bless.